But I did have one successful book signing at Books of Wonder where 25 people showed up in New York City. The bookstore owner was very happy, and I never told him that all 25 people were from my family. I imported them from Maryland. So the book is now, it's a big hit, which is very cool. And it's in 29 languages besides English. And here are some of the covers. You've got Korean right there. You've got Greek, Vietnamese. This is Hebrew, which is printed, you read from right to left. I think that's very cool. It's the only one like that. This is the Brazilian version, and it's Diário de Banana. And I was very excited to know what banana translated to, and they just said, it just means banana. So that was a surprise. There's a Swedish version. Here's the German version, which I like this. It's Greg's Tagebuch von Idioten umzingelt, I think it's pronounced, which means Greg's journal, I'm surrounded by idiots. And the reason that they said they couldn't make a book called Diary of a Wimpy Kid in Germany because there is no word for wimp in German. Thought that was great. Here's the Japanese version. Funny story here is that there's something a little bit different about the characters, is that they all have 5 fingers, which is very unusual for cartoon characters. Most have 4. If you think of The Simpsons or something like that, they have 4 fingers. And so we got a note from the Japanese editor who said, we can't actually run a book in our country with a character with 4 fingers because there will be riots and the books will be destroyed. And we said, well, why is that? And they said, because hundreds of years ago there was a class of people that was discriminated against that were called all sorts of awful names, including the 4-fingered people. And to this day, their ancestors are on the lookout for any kind of evidence of discrimination. And so they asked if they could add a 5th finger to all the characters. Some other things that are going on. Diary of a Wimpy Kid was lampooned by mad kids, which I thought was very cool. And my daytime gig is I'm the creator of Pop Tropica, which is a kid's virtual world. So if you haven't checked it out, please do. Yeah, cool. Thanks. And so that's cool. And I wanted to show you here a little bit of, I wanted to show you, this is hard for me because I usually draw onto my screen. I don't use pen and paper at all anymore. But so this drawing is going to be very sloppy. But here you can see, let's see. I just wanted to show you a little bit of what I do. All right, I'm going to get this, I promise. This is harder than I thought. Maybe some practice would have suited me. I'm going to draw slowly. So here's Greg. It's going to be a very bad version of Greg. And you're going to wonder if I'm really the guy who drew Diary of a Wimpy Kid. All right, this is rough. But you notice every drawing of Greg starts off the same way. Basically, the head, the eyes, the ears, and everything are in the same place. Look how bad this is. I think I'm going to can this really quickly. But the only thing that really changes is the mouth. And you'll see that you can, just with one little change, you can really change the way that the character looks. So here's Greg happy, and then you could draw Greg gritting his teeth. Let's see. All right, practice next time, Jeff. Mental note. So here's, Greg kind of gritting his teeth. But you can see that cartoonists use all sorts of little tricks to tell you very quickly what the character is feeling. So here Greg is it looks like he's sweating, but maybe he's nervous, and maybe here he's tired. I'll draw a little line under his eyes. But there was a cartoonist at the turn of the century, of the last century, who said, his editor challenged him to use half as many lines. And the cartoonist said, if I used half as many lines, I'd have to charge you twice as much. And I really like that idea, that cartooning is an art form that you're trying to use as little information as possible to get the point across. And so that's why my drawings are so simple, not because I'm a bad drawer or I can only draw stick figures. But I wanted to show you this. You guys are the first people seeing this, I promise you that. This is a sneak peek at book 4. Yeah, very cool. Which I was drawing on the plane. And here's a joke. Now I'm going to try this joke on you for the first time. Is that Greg is locked up. He goes on vacation with Rowley, and he's stuck in Rowley's vacation home. And the only videos or DVDs that Rowley's family has to watch are home movies. And so here's the one that Greg really refuses to watch, Rowley's Birth, right? That might be a little too graphic, I think. But here's some other drawings. This is Greg. You know, this is his only window into the world, is looking over Mr. Jefferson's shoulder at his laptop. But these are some drawings from that book. One last one right here is that Rowley, Rowley's mom is one of these healthy food cookers, so she makes brownies with spinach. And so Rowley doesn't actually know what a real brownie tastes like. So this is Rowley trying out a real brownie for the first time. But these are my drawings, and so you're seeing them for the first time. Very cool. Yeah, thanks. I wanted to show you that, this is typically how large I draw. I draw very, very large, and it's nice. The computer kind of helps me smooth out my lines a bit. But I think what we'll do is, I think we're going to take like 5 questions, because I really want to get your book signed. And so I am going to try to do this without causing a riot. Yes?
How did you get the name of Gregory's brothers?
Band?
Roderick's band, yeah.
Loaded Diaper is the name of the band, and it's L-O-D-E-D. Let's see if I can draw that up. I think your parents could answer this question. It's L-O-D-E-D, diaper, right? D-I-P-E-R. And then there's, of course, umlauts above the O. And it's because I think that there were a lot of bands in the 70s and 80s who spelled their names incorrectly, like Led Zeppelin, Def Leppard, and Motley Crue. And they did that because somehow spelling the name wrong and being ignorant was seen as cool. So that's how Loaded Diaper came to be. Okay, right there, yeah. Sorry, I know I should have lined them up right here. Yep, both of them one by one, yeah?
In your book, I noticed on Pop Tropica, I'm reading the first book, and I noticed some words are written incorrectly. Did you do that on purpose?
Thank you for calling me out in front of 1,000 people. I did not. I'm so sorry. But I do say me and Rowley. Yeah. Okay.
How long have you been writing the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books?
I've been writing it now since 1998, so I'm going to embarrass myself with the math there. But yeah, I think 11 years. Is that right? Did I do it right? Okay, yeah, go ahead. All right.
In many of the books, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, we see video games like Twisted Wizard and many others. Is there any referencing you're trying to make towards the video games?
Actually, what I'm trying to do is not write about a video game that already exists. I think what I was really trying to do with Diary of a Wimpy Kid was write a book that felt timeless, like that it could have worked 20 years ago and it might work 20 years from now. So I figure kids will still have video games, and it's really hard to pick a name that has not already been taken. It's really amazing, actually, how hard it is. In fact, I came up with a title for the 4th book, which I was really happy with, which was, I think, Endless Bummer or something like that. And Joan Jett made a movie of that last year, so it went right to video, but now I can't use it. So I think we'll do one more, and then I'm going to say one more thing. But go ahead. Yeah?
Did any author ever inspire you when you were a kid or anything?
Yeah, Judy Blume. I think a lot of your parents will know Judy Blume, right? She inspired me to write because I thought her writing was so awful that maybe somebody could... No, I'm kidding. If Judy's here on her giant yacht, I'm very sorry. No, Judy Blume is great. If you kids haven't read Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, that's a classic, so do read that. Okay, so I'm about to hand this over to that gentleman who took over the room so completely a moment ago. I like him already. So parents and kids, I cannot wait to meet you. I'd love to sign your books. And I'm very sorry for those who have to wait a long time, but I do want to say thank you so much for coming out here. Thank you.